Hi there, I'm Heidi Swapp. Welcome back to Create to Remember. Today I want to show you how to use just a simple doily that you have totally in your stash to make a really beautiful card out of your scraps, all right? So if you happen to have Color Magic paper, this is really a great card to make with the Color Magic paper, but it also works just on regular scraps of what you have hanging around. So I love it when I can make a really pretty card out of stuff that I already have, or maybe stuff that's just sitting there waiting to be used. All right, so let me show you this first one. This one is where I've used the Color Magic paper, and we'll use the doily really as a stencil. And then here on the inside, you can see that I've used the same stencil that we've used as a doily as an embellishment, and is a great place for me to add a sentiment to the card. So 2 for 1, I like that. All right, then the other card that I have is here where I've used some of my Sugar Chic paper, and this is actually one of the Sugar Chic papers that's from the pad that you can get, and the paper on the back is white. So that makes it perfect for spraying and altering the back of the paper, and then still having the inside of the paper that's really beautiful and gives us a little bit of something to add to the card. All right, so let me show you how this is done. All right, so here I've cut my card to be about the height that I want it to be. In this case, I've got it to be about 4 or 5 inches, you know, whatever you like. We're gonna start out actually with, you can start on either side of the paper. When you're using the Color Magic paper, you're gonna want to add, you know, fill in the pattern on the front side, and then also, but the back is where we're gonna use the doily. So here I have, actually I think there's a couple of doilies in this stack. You'll notice that they're kind of tricky to pull apart. There might be 2 or 3 here. And for our purposes, it's nice to use a couple of them because that just makes them a little bit more sturdy when you're spraying them. All right, now because we're gonna spray over the top and use this doily as our stencil, the most important thing is to make sure that your color shine is ready to spray and that it's spraying nice and full and that it's not kind of spraying off weird. So you wanna make sure that you really shake it, and then you're gonna wanna do like a test spray. So that's what I'm gonna do right here on my paper towel. Now you can see that it's spraying nice and full. It's not kind of spraying kind of off on the side. If your spray is kind of spraying in weird directions, it's probably because a little bit of the color shine has dried over the opening of where it sprays out. So you're gonna wanna watch for that. All right, so here on the back side of my card, I have got my doily in place, and notice that I'm just gonna hang the doily off a little bit. And if you look at my sample here, you can see that I've got the doily stencil kind of hanging off the side. And then the doily, the real doily, is gonna stick out a little bit. So it kind of gives us that cool interactive look. All right, now let me just give you some instruction. Again, I want it to be spraying nice and full. I wanna be pushing down all the way on the spray so that it's forcing that color shine out in a full spray, not with a bunch of spots or whatever. And then the other thing I wanna make sure is that when I'm spraying, my hand is going all the way across my paper. Now I can go back and fill it, but if you're just spraying in dots and keeping your hands still as you spray, then you're just gonna get kind of big blobs that don't look nice and smooth. All right, so let's go ahead and spray. We want to try to keep it as still as you can because that's going to give us the nice stenciled effect. All right, and then I'm going to remove my stencil, and you can see that I have this really pretty doily look. And we'll kind of let it dry. And I'm going to set it aside while I just kind of dab up all of the excess here on my craft mat. And you really want to make sure that the doily gets sprayed. So if you haven't completely covered your doily, we want it to be sprayed because that's going to be part of the embellishment. All right, I'm going to set the doily aside, and now I'm just going to spray the Color Magic. Now notice how this is curling. I have come to learn that if you only spray one side of the paper, then the other side kind of curls and kind of rebels. It wants color on both sides. So as you put the color on both sides, it will flatten out. And this is a good time to grab your heating tool and kind of dry the card so that you can go ahead and finish creating the card. All right, now I'm just gonna fold it in half, and as it dries, and if you're using a heating tool, you can kind of flatten it and get the paper to lay as flat as you can. As it dries, it's gonna flatten out more and more. All right, so now you can see that my doily shape is here on the front. You can see a little bit of the Color Magic paper sticking out. And I'm gonna take my doily that is sprayed and grab some adhesive. And I'm just using a little bit of the Basil Marathon Runner. And then I'm gonna stick this right on the inside. And you can see I'm kind of lining it up with the stencil so it looks like a continuation of the doily sticking out the side. All right, kind of fun. And so that makes it really pretty with the same color and gives you that detail. And once it's dry, you can totally write here on the inside. It's a perfect place to add your little sentiments. And then like I've done over here, I've added some buzzwords and some chipboard, even some glitter stickers that really make a fun statement for a really inexpensive card that uses stuff that you have on hand. So dig out the doilies and make pretty stuff.